Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and this week, as sort of referred to really at my last video, I'd like to do an unboxing of this classic game from Worthington. It's quite an old game now, Blood of Noble Men, the Alamo. Probably a very early Worthington Games production, but beautiful artwork, as hopefully you can see there. I'll just zoom it in a little bit so you can see a bit better. Really nice game I've looked at for a while, as I said last time. I love the old traditional block war games, and this is one of those. So wanted to just show you what you get. This is in the old sliding sleeve format. Gives you a nice flavour on the back of the beautiful map plan of the Alamo itself. Some of the blocks, a little bit of background, which I'm not going to go through because I'm sure anyone who knows anything about history will know a little bit about the Alamo or will have heard of it. Game contents with this are a 27 by 19 full colour map board. It is a board, but it's a very thin one, as you'll see in a moment. Cardboard board. Rule book, 60 plus wooden block units with labels, dice. This is a two-player game, playing time 1 to 2 hours with quite low complexity. I say this game was published, I think it was 2006. I picked this up second-hand. It hadn't been stickered, so everything was still as it was in the original box. I have stickered the blocks, although I may well need to seal them because of their age. I'm not sure how sticky the stickiness was remaining on those, so it may be something I will need to do a little bit of protection care with, just to preserve the game for the future. But I really like these sort of little boxes with the sleeves on. I think they're really good. So you get a rule book, again bearing in mind this is nearly 20 years old, so it's not like your full colour glossy that you get these days. But it runs to 12 pages, with the back page being predominantly quick reference rules, and the pages before that really a little bit of historical background. So you're probably looking anything from 9 to 10 pages of actual rules. And yes, they're a bit dry to look at, but there are still some good pictures with examples. And having looked at Board Game Geek, lots of questions with answers on there as well for this game, so you can find plenty of support material to get you playing. I don't think it's going to be a complicated game anyway, as long as you're familiar and understand how a block war game works with the fog of war, then you shouldn't have a problem getting this set up and playing. You get a number of baggies. You get a dice. It's D6 system by the looks of things. So these blocks I have stickered. You can see they're fairly standard fare, but really nice stickers. So really clear unit information there with the flag on. Obviously these are the Mexicans in the blue. Some quite a few spare blocks in there as well, which was quite nice. Often don't get that in games these days. And the Texans, so again very, very straightforward to look at. Quite like the artillery pieces, they're really nice, but again nothing too revolutionary there. But actually what I like about them is they're really simple. Not too much information on them, going to be really easy to follow and understand in a game. And then the key element is the map, and that literally is it. So this is a sort of fold out thick cardstock map board, which will lay flat very, very easily. I've had it out a couple of times already. Probably plexi to start with, or certainly get it out a little while before you want to start the game. But it will soon flatten out. Just with a little bit of gentle persuasion there, just so you can see it for the video. I'll just zoom that up a little bit with the camera. But you can see it's a thing of beauty. It really is a lovely, lovely map. Plan of the Alamo itself. We've got Mexican losses at the bottom, Texan losses on the right. We've got victory point chart and a turn track top right. And then when you first look at the map, you can't really see a great deal of, you know, sectors, zones, whatever you want to call it. But it's not until you start looking more closely that you can see those inscribed into the map in these different sort of quadrants. So it's very, very subtle, very subtle. Reminds me very much of Worthington's Victoria Cross 2 game, which I've got, which covers Islawana and Rorke's Drift. Very similar system. Obviously that's a much newer game. Well, the second version is, and I'm sure this is kind of on a similar vein, and I've had a lot of fun playing that. Again, this is not a simulation by any means. It's a fun game, a chance to scratch that itch, and for me to do that in the realms of the Alamo particularly is of interest. I bought some Texan 28mm troops for the Alamo earlier this year, which I have and haven't had a chance to use them yet. I know my brother, for example, has got a 28mm Alamo building to put together. He's bought all the pieces. So at some point in the future, this may happen as far as a war game with figures and terrain and things like that. But for now, this will allow me to scratch that itch and sort of have a go. So hope that's given you a flavour of this classic game. That's Blood of Noble Men, the Alamo, by Worthington Games. I say, a game back from 2006. This is an immaculate copy, which I've managed to get hold of. Really looking forward to giving it a go. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you're getting up to plenty with your hobby this weekend, and look forward to seeing you all again very soon.